All right, Shalom. Giving our praises, our glory, our honors unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Rakapadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elder bishops of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the 144,000 rest of the hopeful elect out there. This is your brother, the priest Desire One from GMS Atlanta, back with another edifying video. And right here, I got more news, more updates to the coming Motb on the digital ID. And more countries are adopting the digital ID system. So yeah, GMS got it right, because this digital system is what is going to introduce the RFID NFC Neuralink implant. They're all implants. They all go inside the body. They're all biometric technology that are implanted under the skin. Technologies that are implanted under the skin. But before they can do that, they have to have the system set up that will utilize the implants. You got to have the system set up first to where they interact, because prophecy says that the mark of the beast is going to be introduced around the world, around the planet. So this here is an article. It says Laos, which is in Eastern Asia, Laos begins integrating digital ID cards into public agencies. So now, and you see that a lot. You see a lot of different countries are introducing cards as a part of the digital ID system. But the plan is to eventually do away with the cards, because like I said, the prophecy says that they're going to introduce the implant. But it's called gradualism. All right, it's a process, and they're making progress in what's coming up. Okay, so let's just see what Laos is. When you look up Laos, it says a landlocked country in Southeast Asia, population over 6 million, almost 7 million. Official language Laotian, capital Vientiane, however you pronounce that. Laos, country in Southeast Asia. And a lot of people travel here. I've heard of it before. A lot of people go to Laos or Bali, Indonesia, and they take vacations there. Actually, you got a lot of what they call them, the passport bros. They go to these East Asian countries and they get them wives. They deal with these women out here in these countries, which are a lot more reasonable and a lot more feminine than the women here in America. And you got Israelites over there. They have children with them women, and your race, your nationality, your ethnicity is determined by the sperm of your father. So you are whatever your father is, no matter where he planted his seed, whether it's in a black woman, whether it's in a white woman, whether it's an Asian woman. As long as the father is an Israelite, the child is an Israelite. Beautiful country, as you can see. But they're going to introduce this digital ID system. Eventually, if you want to travel over there, you're going to have that implant. If you want to take your vacations, these passport bros are going to have to upgrade to the chip. So let's read some of this. It says government agencies in Laos have received the order to begin integrating the country's chip-enabled identity cards and citizen databases. So these countries are creating databases for their citizens. We have the Social Security system over here in America. We have a somewhat digital system already, but it's going to get updated and upgraded. And a lot of these countries, they didn't have that. So now you got Esau going around the world. Because all of this is the plan of Esau. All right, the so-called white people that are Edomites, they are going around the world, throwing money around through the world. The what is it? The World Monetary Group. They're throwing these monies around, funding these different countries to upgrade their digital public infrastructure, which will all tie into a database and surveillance system, which I did the previous video, to where these elites are going to ultimately control the people. And Esau is going to be in control of these governments and their rulers. The rulers are going to control the citizens. And that's where this digital prison is going to come into play. And that's why they're going to introduce the mark, which is an implant all around the world. So here it says ministries, local authorities, and state agencies will have to integrate. So this is a mandate. They will have to integrate the digital ID system to streamline public services and improve efficiency and coordination. Now, what did they have over here in America? When Trump came into office, him and Elon Musk, they had the Department of Government Efficiency. It's the same thing, but they're giving it a different name over here in the States. But they're doing the same thing all around the planet Earth. It says to improve efficiency and coordination according to a July 8th order from Prime Minister Sonaksay Sivandan. Or Sifindoni, however you pronounce these names. Anyway, this is a lead up to the Motb. Okay? It says the agency developing and managing the National Citizen Database is the Ministry of Public Security, while other ministries will need to ensure that their data systems are ready for secure integration and data exchange. They got to get it ready. They got to get it ready. The digital ID is managed by the Digital Government Center under the Ministry of Technology and Communications of Laos. The Southeast Asian state officially launched its digital identity project in July last year, so 2024, they're already setting up, according to the Laotian Times. In May, the government announced it would establish a digital ID infrastructure to manage citizens' personal data securely as part of its public services modernization drive. This is all tied into Bible prophecy because this has never been done worldwide around the planet Earth on this scale, never, ever, 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 ever in history. This is what John saw in Revelation, this digital system, and he saw people getting implanted with the RFID NFC in their hands, and the Neuralink, the Synchron, and the different brain implants in their skulls, in their heads, right, in their foreheads. So this is Bible prophecy. This has never been done before. All these different countries getting the same system around the world like this. It's not just, oh, well, we got cash and dollars and money, and we're trying to keep up, and no, this is all across the board. I know because I've been doing the videos for so long. When you've been doing something for so long, your IQ level goes up, your knowledge goes up. It's like a basketball player that's been playing basketball from a child, and then he eventually turns pro and plays in the NBA. You know, he knows the game. Well, this here is what we know. Here at GMS, we know these things because we're occupied in prophecies. Let me get that precept real quick. Okay? Let me tell you people something. We are set up to be the prophets of who you call God in Christ, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. We're not set up to be the husband of the year, the father of the year, to be the billionaire businessman. You know, we're not set up to heal the world. No, we're set up to be the prophets, okay? All that comes secondary, right? This is the book of Ecclesiasticus and the Apocrypha, chapter 39, verse 1. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and I did a lesson on all the laws, all 613 laws. It's a whole playlist on my channel. You want to know the laws of the Bible? You got to watch it on my channel. I did all 613 laws because you got to give your mind to it. Now, can we keep the laws 100%? No. All right? But you can study them. You can go into them. You know, you learn what you can't do, learn what you can do. Keep the law to the best of your ability. We keep these laws through faith. But the knowledge is there. You can learn about them. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High and is occupied in the meditation thereof will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient. We go into the ancient cultures of this world. We're not Americans, we're Israelites. Ancient Israelites at that. You know, you had this reprobate Al-Azhar talking about the Hebrew Israelites are cosplaying as the ancient Israelites. Ain't no cosplaying over here. He was cosplaying. He was faking the funk. And we knew that from the beginning. It was just a movement. It was just something to do for him. But now he's free. He can do whatever he want to do and wait to be destroyed by Yahweh Shem Shai. Because Yahweh Shem Shai is going to destroy Al-Azhar from Sakari, the former leader of Sakari. All right, we ain't cosplaying over here. We're going to seek out the wisdom of the ancient. All right? It says, and be occupied in prophecies. This is what we do. We're occupied in prophecies. This is our business. Occupy means to be in business with. So, hey, when we're talking about a business, well, this is our business. I do got a Motb infinity business. You can't put a dollar amount on it because there's no comparison to the wisdom of the Lord to gold, silver, and rubies, as it says in the book of Proverbs. These prophecies are jumping off the page into reality now. Okay? I'm going to go back here. I just had to bring that out, man. So here it says, in May, the government announced it would establish a digital ID infrastructure to manage citizens' personal data securely as part of its public services modernization drive. Now, you may say, oh, well, see, they're just updating the system. They're trying to get everybody, you know, connected, right? They're trying to make sure that those, you know, those people get benefit. They leave no stone unturned. No, this is all a ruse to control you. All right? Whatever the government says is good for you, they really mean the opposite. It says the Ministry of Technology and Communications had completed 37 digital government systems as of this past February as it seeks to spur socio-economic development with open source technology and digital public infrastructure. The Digital ID project has received assistance from countries such as Japan, Vietnam, and they all got digital ID systems being set up. So these other countries that have it, they're helping to set up other countries. Japan-based NEC, Ryobi Systems, and JNC are all involved in building the system, while the Vietnamese officials and experts have provided strategic advice. And that's going to lead up to these citizens having to get the mark. Okay? It's clear. It's clear what's going on, man. It's clear. All these citizens are going to have to If they want these government benefits from these different countries around the world, or they want to have these public services continue to provide them with help and guidance, then you're going to have to get the Motb. Revelation 13 and 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, which that mark is the implant, the biometric implant. Verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell. Oh, you want to have WIC, and you want to have SNAP, and you want to have EBT. You want to be able to buy groceries for your family. You want to be able to buy tickets to the baseball game. You know, you want season tickets to the new NFL season coming up. You're going to have the implant. Hey, because you go to a lot of these stadiums and these concession stands and these different venues, they're all cashless. And then Trump, he just signed off on this Genius bill, the Genius bill, which gives this digital currency here, stable coin, backing, you know, with the U.S. dollar. So now you got CBDC, central bank digital currencies, being set up here in America and around the world. All that's going to lead to you having to get the mark. See, now they're setting the system up. Now they're setting up what's called digital public infrastructure. And you're going to need to eventually get it mandated. And I'm going to show you, because they're requiring the agencies now to set it up over there in Laos. So what do you think is going to happen around the world? As these countries around the world, as they prove more successful in using these systems, then that's when we're going to see these Western nations, Europe and America, put this into place. It's just a matter of time. It says, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So it's coming. Okay? It's coming. Let's go to this next article. This is dealing with Belize. Okay, Belize. I keep telling y'all, and this is from today's date, July 21st, 2025, the hopeful year of our deliverance, destruction and judgment on Esau. But first, Esau, he has to bring out the Motb implant. Then we'll be up out of here. But first, hey, they got to set the system up for the Motb implant. It has to go around the world. So these countries are putting it in place. You know, so Lord willing, things speed up quick, even quicker. It says Belize cabinet approves national digital ID rollout. Shine, you niggas love Shine, and the former rapper Shine. You know, he was, you know, one of the leaders in Belize. Well, he's with the system. He's with this system. Okay? The cabinet of Belize has given its green light for a countrywide rollout of a biometrics-based national digital ID system, which the government says will happen within the next 3 years. And we hope that it's even quicker than that. You know, the Lord, he could speed things up. Matter of fact, the earth, let me show you that. The earth is rotating even faster. Earth is speeding up because it's the Lord that's in control of time. It says, yes, Earth's rotation is currently speeding up, leading to shorter days. Scientists are observing that the planet is spinning faster than it has in decades. Why? Because of prophecy. Which means our days are slightly shorter than 24 hours. The acceleration is a relatively recent phenomenon, with the shortest day on record occurring in 2024. And then when you do the science, it'll say by milliseconds, this, that, and the third. But guess what? I'm going to show you what the scriptures say about that. And these prophecies are about to come to pass quick, man. We're about to be delivered up out of here. So for those of you that are of the hopeful elect, and you're waiting for the salvation of Yahweh Shai, Hey, keep going. And as Yahweh said, and your patience possess ye your souls. Okay? But the Lord said he was going to shorten the days, baby, for the elect's sake. Let me see here. Let's go to Matthew 24. And I'm just flowing in the Spirit, reading these articles. All these scriptures are coming to mind. Matthew 24, 22? Yep. Matthew 24 and 22. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. Why? Because once they introduce this Motb, they can really start knocking people off, denying you, putting you to death, putting you in captivity. That's what the elites want to do. This is luring you into a false sense of security. Yeah, put up a digital system, digital ID. Let's find out who the criminals are. All these excuses and giving incentives when all it's really doing is destroying the earth. And then another thing too, the implant is going to lead to people getting a grievous sore, where it could be it's going to be cancerous, and it's going to become malignant, and that implant in your hand or your brain, your forehead, is going to cause all kind of illnesses. So if billions of people get it, just as billions of people took the jump shot, because of the pandemic, imagine how many people are going to die when they take that mark. So it says no flesh will be saved, because it's going to be hard to live during the time of the Motb. Famines, natural disasters, riots and protests taking place. So we're going to need a Savior. We're going to need Yahweh to deliver us from these evil times. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. So that's what we're waiting on. We're waiting on the time to come when Yahweh can deliver us. And we're in that time now. But we hasten the day. And best believe it's coming quick. Okay, so I just want to bring that information out. So let's go back over here. Speaking on Belize. So it says the approval comes after a successful pilot of the project, which is overseen by the e-government and digitalization unit of the Ministry of E-Governance. All these countries got these new administrations now, these new agencies. According to authorities, the digital ID will serve as the unique identification tool for all citizens and legal residents, and aligns with the nation's 2022 to 2025 digital transformation strategy. All these countries and their leaders, their world leaders, got the memo from the world banking families, the elites behind the scene, the Edomites, the banking families, to say, okay, now y'all are going to set up a digital infrastructure, and it's going to take just a few years to set up, and then eventually everyone is going to be microchipped. That's what they said. Look up the Great Reset, the Fourth Reich, the Fourth Industrial Revolution. You had this guy, Klaus Schwab, which he stepped down from the WEF, World Economic Forum, and they got somebody else up in there, but he's still there lingering behind the scenes. Right. Okay. So as I was just speaking about this guy Klaus Schwab and the World Economic Forum, and how it's the plan of the elites to tie everybody into this digital ID system. So here it says the pilot lasted 6 months and involved 500 individuals The CEO of the Ministry of E-Governance, Jose Rubina, told Love FM in an interview. He said after the cabinet approval, the government will continue consultations with other stakeholders, especially in the area of procurement, in order for the process to advance. The Central American country of less than 500,000 people currently has many functional IDs, such as a social security card, driver's license, and voter's card, but has no unique national digital ID. And we have the same thing here in the U.S. Like I said, what you're thinking is, oh, well, they've been having IDs. Maybe some of these other countries didn't have it. No, this is something separate. What they're doing with this digital ID system is something totally different from what we've seen before with these countries, especially from post World War I, World War II. This is something different. This is a whole new digital system that's going to tie everything together. It's the new digital image of the beast. The mark of the beast system is being set up. It says the initial timeline to complete the National ID project is in 3 years timeline, which, like I said, the Lord is speeding up the day, so hopefully it'll be less than that, maybe within the next year. Hey, man, we're trying to get up out of here, all right? The elect of Israel, we're trying to be delivered, not continue to live here in this evil and wickedness. It says, mind you, we are very hopeful because we have done the pilot project that we would be able to accelerate the deployment and begin the enrollment of citizens on this new platform, the CEO said. And like I read in the prophecy, Revelation 13, they're going to cause all, small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to get the mark. First, you got to get this national digital ID. You might use a digital ID card, you might use an app, but eventually you're going to have the implant. GMS is right when it comes to these prophecies because we're occupied in them. Occupied. All right, here's another one. Same thing, July 21st, 2025. So this came out today. Bosnia and Herzegovina launches national digital ID app. Some got cards with the chips in them, some got ID apps. Okay? Citizens of Bosnia and Herzegovina can now access a digital version of their ID card, driver's license, and passport thanks to the country's newly launched digital identity app, EIDDEEA. The state-issued digital identity and qualified electronic signature platform, QES, was introduced by the Identification Documents, Registers, and Data Exchange of Bosnia and is fully aligned with the EIDAS regulation. So they already have regulating laws in place. They're adding more and fine-tuning other processes, but they're setting it up. This is going to be a worldwide thing. And it's going to be mandatory. It says the government has ambitious plans to attract over 500,000 users within the first year, accounting for more than 17% of its 2.9 million population. We have delivered a fully functional, citizen-centric, and secure digital identity that brings us closer to the European digital identity ecosystem and lays the foundation for future cross-border interoperability. Right, it's going to be worldwide. They're going to do it so you can operate and interact across borders. If you want to go to Europe, just use your digital ID. They scan your forehead, they scan your hand with your chip in it. You want to go to, come to America, you want to go to Europe. Anywhere on planet Earth, you're going to need that digital ID in that implant. You're going to need the Motb. It says the project was funded by Europe's EU for Digital SME Fund. Who's funding it? Esau's funding it. All right, the banking families, the super rich trillionaires are funding all of this. And the government of Germany, the creator of the digital ID wallet is Croatia-based Identium. And they got all these different digital ID companies popping up out of nowhere that were maybe startups a few years ago, 10 years ago, but now they've been given the green light to set these governments up because that's how the elites are funneling their money. The project is a tiny cog in preparing the Balkan country to be more technologically similar to the EU, the company's CEO Robert Elias told Biometric Update in an interview last year. Identium has previously said that users will be able to tap their physical identity card on their mobile phone and conduct a biometric liveness check. Next is going to be, instead of tapping the card on your phone, you're going to just tap your hand, your hand with the chip in it, and then that'll perform the check. It's easy to see. If your eyes are open in the spirit, if Yahweh Shem was shy by Summer Kakwadash is dealing with you, and your eyes are open, you have that eye salve that Yahweh Shai was speaking about in Revelation the 3rd chapter, then hey, you could be of the elect, Users, however, are currently instructed to activate their qualified electronic signature in one of the registration offices and register on the app. Aside from accessing digital documents, BIH, not BHI, which is Bosnia and Herzegovina, citizens will be able to check for traffic fines. Oh, you pay your ticket, gonna have to have the chip so you can tap your phone, do a liveness check, pay your fines, and that'll be tied into your digital ID. But now they're using the identity card. It's going to upgrade though. It says citizens will be able to check for traffic fines, penalties, and other administrative procedures, including requests submitted to public institutions. Oh, you want your government benefits, like I mentioned before. If you was here in the U.S., we got SNAP, EBT, TANF, Section 8. These benefits for these women. Jake don't use benefits like that, or get benefits like that. But anyway, you want to use it, eventually you're going to have the chip. Like they was having this problem out there in Philly with the trash. A lot of trash was piling up. The workers were on strike. Well, let's say that there's a request to these institutions. You may want to, hey, listen, you're going to need the digital ID and the chip for everything, okay? That's what this is leading up to. So if there's an issue around the city, well, if you're not tied into the city digitally, then you won't be able to get any services anyway. It says the app is also integrated with public and private sector services such as major banks, buying and selling, and telecom operators. The agency explains in a release. So that's over there in Europe, Bosnia and Herzegovina. So when GMS says that the implant is the chip, you better believe it. All these other Israelite groups, when it comes and it's mandated, that's when a lot of Israelites are gonna see who really got the truth. Unless guys like Bishop Nate and Captain Cesariak, change their tune. They're gonna be like, damn, GMS was right. But hey, we told you so. It's happening in the world around us. Now check this out. This is what I want to get. This is from a few days ago, July 18th. So this, Friday? It says Mexico right, makes biometric identifier mandatory for all citizens. I'm going to read that again. Mexico, the Mexica, makes biometric identifier mandatory for all citizens. This is another step to the Motb. It says Mexico has officially introduced a digital identification system by signing a law. All right, Trump just also signed the law Friday, but there's other things going on, and these countries are the same. Now, and you can look this up. They got the leaders of Mexico were given the Motb, the RFID implants, back in 2004. So Mexico was way, way ahead of the curve when it comes to the digital system, because they had to use those implants. It was in the, and you can look it up. Like I said, you look it up. Mexican government workers, RFID implant, and they had to get them to enter those government offices. And a lot of them still have them. A lot of them, they're still in the government system. They still got them. They're still in public office. They still work within that realm. Whether or not they have access to the building, I'm not sure. And those, but they still had to get that implant. But that's not talking about a lot. It's not talked about a lot, but you can look it up. It says last month, legislators approved amendments to a law related to the 18-character personal identifier known as Unique Population Registry Code, with the change formalized on Wednesday through a decree. All they got to do is give them the implant and the mess, and you see they deporting you Mexicans, you Central Americans. Hell, all the tribes now are being deported back to these countries. Some are going who knows where, in the middle of the Siberian tundra somewhere, in a prison, Guantanamo, wherever. But these countries, especially here in Mexico, they're having it to where their citizens have to get a biometric citizen code. And it's mandatory. So, a lot of these countries, certain countries are going to have the chip before America does. Look at Sweden. Thousands of people in Sweden have the chip already. But they're also setting up a digital ID system too. And eventually all their citizens are going to have to take it. Right now it's mandatory. I'm sorry, in Sweden, it's voluntary, it's optional, but eventually it's going to be mandatory. The digital ID is a mandatory thing, and they're doing it over here in Mexico. So it says the mandatory CURP will contain personal and biometric information, including a photograph and a QR code containing biometric fingerprint and iris data. The identifier is expected to be introduced gradually to all Mexicans by February 2026. Are y'all listening to this? Are you paying attention? The government has also allowed the consolidation of the citizen codes into a single identity platform. This is your number of the beast. Let me get that. It ties right into the number of the beast, the UPC code, barcode system that is going to be tied to the Motb implant. This is Revelation 13 and 18. Here is wisdom. You know what? Let me read verse 17. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. You got to be registered. You're going to be given a number. That number is going to be tied to 3 score and 6. 666. Revelation 13:18. Here's wisdom. And hey, you got to have the wisdom of Yahweh Shema. I was trying to get it. A lot of you Israelites, you ain't got the wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, Esau. Okay, and his number is 600, 6. So you got the IUIC saying that this is the 6 seals, the 6 vials, 6 angels, so forth and so on. It's not talking about anything celestial in the heavens. It's not an angelic number. It says the number of a man. So that breakdown is wrong. I'm going to have to do a video on that. IUIC does not know the prophecies. The top Israelite group is Great Millstone, GMS. We know all the prophecies through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kakwadash. These Christians can't deal with us. Your local pastors, these mega pastors, the Pope, the Roman Catholic Church, the elites of Esau. Well, the elites of Esau listen to us. Just as it did in the ancient world. When you had Daniel sat as a president next to the king. But see, now they don't have to do that. They just watch our videos and keep us poor. They don't set us up in their kingdom, not Esau. But they listen to our words. Scripture says that we're going to go into the gates of the nobles. So they know what's going on. But these Israelites and these different groups outside of GMS, they don't know. Unless they're affiliated and they teach the same thing. Now Genesis, Sakari, some of these other groups, they do teach that the Motb is an implant, but they going off on other things. So they ain't got the full 100% truth. GMS has a full 100% truth, and when this implant, this RFID NFC implant is mandated, that's when these Israelites are going to scramble and not know what to do. But we're telling you. We've been telling you. So here it says, the government has allowed the consolidation of the citizen codes into a single identity platform, number of the beast, that will be connected to other state databases and administrative records. They're going to say, oh, senor, you don't have the digital ID. Oh, you can't buy no groceries. No agua for you and your family. No water. You can't buy nothing. No pepinos, nothing. Can't sell nothing. You want to continue to sell fruit on the side of the road in Mexico? No. Everything's going to be tied to that implant. According to the decree, the Ministry of the Interior and the Digital Transformation Agency must create a unified identity platform within 90 days, while public and private institutions will be required to update their system to recognize the identifier. Like I said, once they get the digital infrastructure in place, then all they have to do is give you the implant. The country also plans to kickstart a national program to collect biometric data from children and adolescents within 120 days. Everyone, small and great. You're an adult, you're a child, you're going to have to get the Motb. But they're setting up the system first. All right? The country also plans to kickstart a national program to collect biometric data from children and adolescents within 120 days, according to news outlet Mexico Business. So, there you have it. There you have it. Another step closer to the mark of the beast, the Motb, and the coming implant. The image of the beast is forming, it's going digital. Different countries around the world are setting it up. And prophecy is being fulfilled. With that, I hope this lesson was edifying. All praises once again goes to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Quadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders, bishops of Great Millstone. Shalom to the 144,000, the rest of the whole lake out there, the brothers and sisters that believe. Shalom.